we got this nut off of here, we can take this gear, and that meshes with the basket there off. We'll pull this spacer here, gear off. Here's your oil pump here. Now the oil pump. A lot of times what I'll do is take an impact, and these are Phillips head screws, so just tap them one time, pop these screws off, and that'll allow you to take the oil pump off. Gasket on behind the oil pump, that will need replaced if you pull the oil pump off. So I put these bolts back in there. Kickstarter gear is going to be spring loaded. Pull that off, just make sure you don't have parts flying. If you can turn it in the direction that spring to loosen that up and pull it off, that may save you a little bit of an injured hand. Gear shifter shaft here. That one there is just a little stubborn coming out, but no snap ring, it'll pull right out. You got to work it. Sometimes there's a little bit of rust or corrosion on the end of the shaft that doesn't allow it to come out. So there's a gear shifter shaft there. And your shift star is going to be taken out with a Torx. Here's an arm here, taken out with a 10 millimeter. That's spring loaded as well, so just make sure you keep all those pieces together. That'll come off there. These you can break very easily, the shift drums. So what I like to do is take and turn the drum as far as you can, the way that you're going to spin that bolt off, and then put pressure on it. I never want to use an impact. On this. You could potentially break that star. So just take it to the point that it stops and then spin that bolt off of there. That's a T30 Torx. So once you get it loosened up, you can use an impact and pull that star off there. Now there's two pins underneath this star that will come out. And if you leave them in, you'll generally dump them out and you won't know where they are when it comes time to use them. So we'll keep that Torx with that. That way we can put that star back onto the drum when we split that case. Now we will pull this snap ring off and be able to pull this gear, then we'll get ready to split this case. Okay, then it looks like there's another snap ring on the bottom there. Make sure you don't forget that other snap ring, or when you split that case, this gear will stay on this case and you want that to come out separate. So a couple 8 millimeter bolts on this side, and then we'll flip this motor over. Two up by the cylinder. And it looks like that's it for this side. We'll pull those motor over, and there will be several on this side that need taken out. Look like 8 bolts on this side that need taken out. Okay, now to split the case, we can tape and tap it apart. Now if you have to tap too hard, just make sure in an area that's not going to break. This is aluminum. And I take and I get my fingers in between there, just kind of pull up on that. I like the gears to stay on one side or the other. Like they stayed on that side. You've got your crank balancer here. You've got your shift drum. Now this is where we took the star out of. So we can put the star. Now these have to be lined up. You could get this off. So put the star back where it needs to go. Shift fork here and 2 shift forks on this shaft. Here, you pull those, we'll pull the transmission. Sometimes you got to get on behind with the rubber mallet and tap on it, but they kind of come out together, so don't just try pulling one out without the other, or gears may go everywhere. So there's that case half there. And then to get this crank out, we use a rubber mallet, just kind of tap it out. And then here's your clutch adjustment. It'll just slide right out. And that is where your clutch cable hooks onto. That pulls on that, pushes against the clutch, and engages or disengages that clutch. And that is a TTR 125 case split.